In Japan, there are some things that you can hardly find anywhere else in the world. First, people in Japan keep special leaves in their rooms, but these are not ordinary leaves. They indicate temperature. When it's cold, the leaf stays deep green, and as the room gets warmer, it slowly turns yellow. It is both useful and decorative. Next, if things keep falling off your tray, Japan's anti-slip tray can help. This wooden tray has a special coating that firmly holds every glass and plate in place. Even if the tray is tilted at any angle, nothing moves. And finally, in Japan, funny squishy animal stickers are used to protect walls. You simply stick them where a door handle might hit the wall. When the door opens, its soft belly absorbs the impact. This keeps the wall safe and also brings a smile to your face. Which of these did you like the most? Let me know in the comments. Look at this. Have you ever wondered where people in ancient times got the iron tips for their arrows when they lived deep in the wilderness? In those days, there were also skilled blacksmiths who used magnets to collect tiny pieces of iron from the soil. They would then heat the metal in a fire and hammer it into sharp points. These iron arrowheads were later attached to arrows and used for hunting animals and surviving in the wild. Hanging pictures just got a whole lot easier. Hack 1. Hook a simple fork onto the nail, slide your frame right over it, and pull the fork out. No scratches, no mess. Hack 2. Put painter's tape on the back of the frame and mark the hooks. Stick the tape on the wall, hammer the nails right on the marks, and your picture will fit perfectly. Which hack did you like best? Let me know in the comments. Michael Jackson's famous dance move was so incredible that it even amazed scientists. During the move, he leaned his body forward by about 45 degrees. According to the laws of physics, no person can normally lean that far without support, but Michael had a pair of specially designed shoes made for this move. When he was about to perform it, a peg would rise from the stage. The peg locked into a specially shaped slot in the heels of his shoes. This hidden mechanism gave him the support needed to perform the famous forward lean. Never try to come down your stairs like this by mistake, or you could end up in the hospital. Some people use this trick to get down the stairs more quickly, but only someone who properly understands the technique can do it safely. That's why you should never try it at home without learning and practicing it first. This skeleton had a mysterious ancient object lodged in its mouth, and removing it took a lot of effort. In fact, when archaeologists excavate ancient sites, they sometimes uncover mysterious skeletons that leave everyone amazed. Some are found with precious stones placed over their eyes, while others have ancient gold objects lying near their heads. Some skeletons are discovered wearing ancient bracelets, while others are buried with jewelry and other valuable belongings. This is because in many ancient cultures, people were buried along with their favorite possessions or items they believed would be useful in the afterlife. Look at this. This sign makes it seem as if several children had been kidnapped from this park, instantly putting people on alert. But there's a twist. These signs are actually part of an artist's work to grab people's attention and encourage them to stay cautious. He creates eye-catching warning signs in different places that make people stop and think. For example, another sign suggests that wolves frequently roam the area and that several people have already been attacked. The goal is to make safety warnings impossible to ignore. 3 inventions from Japan that are truly amazing. First, Japan has something called yo-yo ice cream. You simply add ice, sugar, milk, and strawberries, then keep shaking it. After a short while, your delicious ice cream is ready. Second, if you win a giant plush toy at an arcade, you don't have to carry it around the streets. Japan has vacuum shrink stations. Just put the toy in a bag, remove the air, and it shrinks into a much smaller, more compact size for easy carrying. Third, there's a hanging-style bathtub created by the Japanese company Pathot. It takes up almost no floor space. When you're done bathing, you simply drain the water, making it a clever space-saving design. Have you ever seen anything this mind-blowing? These are the master artisans of Jingdezhen, China, creating some of the finest handmade porcelain in the world. Watch how these artists paint such breathtaking, intricate details completely by hand, without a single mistake. From jaw-dropping inside painting to stamping the perfect seal under a cup, every single move is pure perfection. Human hands are truly capable of magic. Drop a like if you respect this unbelievable talent. This is a cat toy from China that is so sticky right out of the box that workers have to wear plastic gloves to handle it. If someone touches it with bare hands, the toy can be damaged. That's why they first cover it with foam and rub it thoroughly to remove the extra stickiness. Once the excess stickiness is gone, the toy starts looking really cute. So, would you want one of these sticky cat toys? Why is there a person sitting on top of a wind turbine blade during transport? Because if this massive 20-ton blade gets even a minor impact while being transported, it usually can't be repaired and may have to be scrapped instead. Special trailers are used to transport these blades through mountainous areas, and in some cases, new roads even have to be built if the existing ones aren't strong enough. When the blade is loaded onto the truck, the driver can't always clearly see overhead bridges or the distance to obstacles ahead. That's why a person is sometimes positioned on top of the blade to monitor clearances, heights, and potential hazards, helping guide the driver safely along the route. These little girls were so clever that they left their coach completely amazed. Each player braided her hair according to her jersey number. The goalkeeper wore jersey number 1, so she had 1 braid. The next player wore jersey number 2, so she had 2 braids. And in the same way, all the players followed the trend, matching the number of their braids to the number on their jerseys. 3 things from Japan that are truly very smart. First, in Japan, you can find special flavored bottle caps. You simply attach the cap to a normal water bottle and twist it, and the flavor mixes into the water. In just a few seconds, plain water turns into a flavored drink. These caps come in different flavors, giving a soft drink-like experience. Second, if you're out and need to freshen your mouth, Japan offers instant lemon mouthwash packets. You just open the packet, put the lemon powder in your mouth, rinse with water, and spit it out. Within seconds, your mouth feels clean and fresh. Third, milk cartons in Japan have a very small but clever design feature. To help visually impaired people, there is a special tactile mark on the side of the milk pack. By touching it, they can easily identify that it is 100% milk and not any other drink. You might think this is a window, but in reality, it's not. This is an artificial skylight that recreates the sun, blue sky, and natural daylight so realistically that after a while, your brain starts to believe it's real. And the most surprising part is that it can be controlled with a phone or remote. From soft morning sunlight to a sunset effect in the evening, everything can be changed with just a single tap. Isn't it amazing technology? You've probably never seen an ordinary coin transformed into something this creepy and amazing. This is called hobo coin art, where this artist turns an old silver dollar into a terrifying monster's eye. Watch how every single tooth and the intricate details of the eye are carved out one by one. After adding the dark polish and doing the final cleanup, the end result is absolutely mind-blowing. Would you keep a coin like this in your pocket? Let me know in the comments. Look at this. When it comes to making candy, this man is truly in a league of his own. He creates candy in such an incredible way that people can't stop watching. Using different layers of sweet and sour candy, he carefully builds an image of an Angry Birds character inside the candy itself. Layer by layer, the design slowly takes shape. Once it's finished, he cuts the candy into small pieces. The most amazing part is that when you look inside each piece, the little bird appears perfectly formed and surprisingly beautiful. This girl had a habit that almost no one could believe. Everything placed in front of her looked completely real. But then she would pick up a knife, and it would turn out that it wasn't a real object at all. It was a cake. Sometimes it was a shoe, sometimes a phone, and sometimes even a handbag. Eventually, people became so suspicious that they started thinking twice before touching anything placed in front of her. What if it was a cake too? So, which one looked the most real to you? If you don't shake hands with this hand, you might regret it later because this is not an ordinary hand. It represents humanity itself. In 2016, in Kazakhstan, a dog fell into a canal. A man went down to save it, but both of them got trapped. Seeing this, people nearby formed a human chain and successfully saved both of their lives. This incident was so inspiring that a statue was built in its memory. Today, people shake hands with it as a way of saluting humanity. Look at this. This girl's talent is as strange as it is amazing. Her name is Lisa, and she can actually weave a rope-like bracelet using only her tongue, which already sounds unbelievable. Not only that, she can also create waves and twists with her tongue as if she's performing some kind of magic trick. Her tongue control and rhythm are so perfect that anyone who watches her is left completely stunned. Look at this! Floating on the ocean waves, this special trash collector seems almost magical. The people who created it are truly remarkable because this machine pulls in water and automatically captures the plastic and debris floating in it. Every hour, it can clean around 25,000 liters of water while storing all the collected waste inside. It only needs to be emptied from time to time. Honestly, it's like a real sanitation worker for the ocean. Look at this. This small device may look simple, but it's actually very clever. It is designed to protect expensive clothing, clothing, jewelry, and other luxury products from theft. If someone tries to pull it off by force, it locks even more tightly, and if they attempt to break it, an ink capsule inside can burst and leave permanent stains on the item. However, when a product is legitimately purchased, store staff can easily remove the device using a special tool. 3 things from Japan that might seem straight out of the future the first time you see them. First, some people in Japan use metal ice cubes instead of regular ice. All you have to do is chill them in the freezer and then place them directly into your drink. They keep your beverage cold without melting like normal ice. Second, food packaging rules in Japan are considered very strict. Companies are not allowed to make the food on the package look bigger or better than it actually is. In other words, the food inside usually looks very similar to what is shown on the packaging. That's why people in Japan tend to trust food packaging more. Third, during the summer, some people in Japan use a special umbrella that can be filled with water to help provide cooling in hot weather. What's even more surprising is that it can also be used to charge a mobile phone. 3 things from Japan that might seem straight out of the future the first time you see them. First, food packaging rules in Japan are considered very strict. Companies are not allowed to make the food on the package look bigger or better than it actually is. In other words, the food inside usually looks very similar to what is shown on the packaging. That's why people in Japan tend to trust food packaging more. Second, some people in Japan use metal ice cubes instead of regular ice. You simply chill them in the freezer and then drop them into your drink. They keep your beverage cold without melting and watering it down like normal ice. Third, during the summer, some people in Japan use a special umbrella that can be filled with water to help provide a cooling effect in hot weather. What's even more surprising is that it can also be used to charge a mobile phone. First up, we've coated a perfect square cake with a smooth layer of white buttercream because getting those sharp, clean edges is absolutely key. Now, let's transform this into a makeup box by wrapping it in sleek black fondant sheets to create the main body of our vanity case. To highlight the edges and drawers, we're adding thin strips of white fondant. Look at that contrast, it's looking classy already. Time to fill up the box, starting with the eyeshadow palette where we're neatly placing vibrant, colorful circles into the slots, along with a few neutral contour shades. No makeup set is complete without brushes, so we've crafted these cute little tools from fondant and slotted them right into the upper lid. Next comes the best part, lipsticks and nail polishes that we're popping right into the compartments. For that extra touch of realism, we've even filled a tiny container with colorful edible pearls to mimic luxury powder blush balls. And ta-da! Our gorgeous, fully loaded makeup box cake is complete. Every single detail looks so real, doesn't it? If you loved this creation, don't forget to like and subscribe. 3 things from Japan that somehow only make sense in Japan. First, you can find soaps that look exactly like bunches of grapes. They are carefully designed to resemble real fruit in incredible detail. Not only do they make your bathroom look more attractive, but you can also use them just like ordinary soap. Second, if you're tired after walking all day, Japan has special foot massage paths. These paths are covered with small plastic stones that you walk on barefoot. Each stone is designed to stimulate different parts of the body. Some are said to target the heart, some internal organs, and others help relax the entire body. Walking on them gives your feet a natural massage. Third, if you look closely at a soft drink or water bottle in Japan, you'll often notice a small arrow on the label. Right below it is a tiny cut that makes it easy to remove the label. After drinking, people peel off the label and throw it away separately because in Japan, the plastic bottle and its label are often sorted into different recycling categories. Have you ever wondered if something beautiful could be made from a fish backbone that most people would simply throw away? Let's find out. First, the sharp side spines are trimmed off with a cutter, leaving only the center section. Next, the backbone is cut into small pieces. Each piece is then carefully shaped using drilling and grinding tools until it's smooth, and a small hole is drilled to the center, making the pieces look like beads. Finally, they're threaded together with blue beads and secured in place. And just like that, what was once considered waste is transformed into a beautiful and unique bracelet. What would happen if your hand accidentally ended up under a paper cutter? You've probably noticed that workers keep their hands very close to the blade while positioning the paper, which makes the machine look quite dangerous. But in reality, it has a built-in safety system. Before the blade can move, the operator has to press 2 separate buttons at the same time. That means both hands are on the controls, so they can't be near the blade. And even if a finger somehow gets close to the blade, most modern paper cutters are equipped with an invisible infrared safety line that helps prevent prevent the blade from operating if something is in the way. America spends billions of dollars on its soldiers every year because their boots are far from ordinary. They're designed to resist water, and even walking over large nails doesn't easily damage them. They're also highly resistant to cuts and extreme heat, making them exceptionally durable in harsh conditions. This focus on advanced equipment is one of the reasons the US military is considered one of the most powerful armed forces in the world. You've probably seen a horse's hooves being trimmed, but you've likely never seen a horse getting a haircut. A horse's coat may look short, but it's actually very thick and dense. As the seasons change, loose hair can build up, and grooming helps remove the shedding coat and keep the skin healthy. That's why a horse's coat needs to be trimmed or groomed from time to time. Why are these wooden Japanese sandals called geta still worn today? At first glance, they look quite uncomfortable, but there's a centuries-old reason behind them. Back when Japan's roads were unpaved, people used to wear long kimonos. After it rained, geta sandals kept the wearer's feet elevated above the mud, helping keep their clothes clean. What's truly surprising is that these centuries-old sandals are still an iconic part of Japan's culture today. Look at this. In China, some parents place tape on their children's eyelids, which can be uncomfortable for the child, but why do they do it? The reason is that some children are naturally born with monolid eyelids, meaning they do not have a visible eyelid crease. As a result, their eyes may appear smaller. Some parents use eyelid tape in an attempt to create the appearance of a crease, although this is a cosmetic practice rather than a medical necessity. In many countries, whenever someone is about to buy an expensive property, they hire a professional home inspector before finalizing the deal. That's because a house that looks perfect on the outside may be hiding serious problems inside. Finding these hidden issues is the inspector's job, and they can charge around $100 per hour for their services. They carefully inspect the walls, wooden structures, and floors to identify any weak spots or damage throughout the house. Whenever they find a problem, they place a small flag marker at that location so workers can easily identify the exact area that needs attention. Look at this! Waterbeds were once considered the ultimate luxury. People imagined it would feel like sleeping while floating on water. But today, most people avoid them and very few want one in their home. The reasons are pretty convincing. Setting up a waterbed is almost like putting a small pool inside your room. On top of that, it doesn't provide much support for your back, which can lead to discomfort or back pain. And if it's not cleaned and maintained properly, the water inside can become a breeding ground for bacteria.